Hello! In this video, we are going to do an honest review of Balabac, the 4 days and 3 nights tour. And we want to be clear, it's not a negative video, but this is an honest review, so we will be as honest as possible.
We'll
Right?
be talking what we think, like full-on truth,
Yeah.
good and bad.
Yeah.
So obviously there are things that we didn't like, but we are really love complaining.
Yeah, complaining is our hobby, so bear with us. But it's, you know, we're just being honest. Okay, so the first point we're gonna start with is the campsite. What did you think of the campsite? You can start.
The campsite is quite rustic, which is literally what I expected to be.
We signed up for that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good.
Yeah. Bedrooms were the same, like small bungalows with a bed on the floor. What's the name of the thing?
Oh, you had mosquito net.
Mosquito neck,
It
like
was-
a princess.
Yeah, it was rustic, but this is what we signed up for. Like, we didn't go there expecting luxury, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And the rooms got cold at night. Like,
Yeah.
even the fan was enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was like, oh, there is lots of dogs here on the beach. So yeah, and because you had like gaps in between wood, the air kept circulating,
It was so fresh. It's fresher than the room that we are now.
which is concrete. Another thing I want to add, the power on the website, it says it comes between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had it on for 24 hours, honestly. Like, I would turn it on in the morning and I could charge my phone,
Yeah.
turn the fan on. And the bathrooms,
The bathrooms, if you are really picky, honestly, that's not the place for you. Because the bathrooms are quite challenging. And the
Rustic.
toilet seats, yeah, especially for girls. I think everyone actually, because when you go poo, you have to sit down.
Yeah.
And there is no toilet seat, it's just the vase. So it's cold and uncomfortable.
yeah, but it's, again, you expect
Yeah.
it. It was camping.
Yeah,
we went there with
I
the
didn't mind.
promise of camping. We have a dog who went on top of the tree where we're filming and where we placed our camera.
He's gonna come towards it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Proprio Paquita.
Okay.
The bathrooms, I think it's the most challenging part of it, but they were quite big. So for me at least, I don't like when the bathrooms are small and you don't want to touch anything. They were quite big, and
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
shower and bucket shower. I prefer bucket shower because it's just so fresh and nice.
Yeah, no, because usually those showers or toilets are kind of dirty. That was kind of very clean
It
for
was
camping,
clean,
very clean.
yeah.
There was no damp smell or mold. I did not see anything. And the bathroom was spacious and you had lots of hooks to put your
Yeah.
things on, which is really good.
And really good to mention this, didn't see trash on the camping site
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
They were quite good with that.
Yeah,
Really
very
good,
clean.
really
Yeah,
clean
very
and
clean.
nice.
Let's move on to another thing, which is food on the tour.
You go, because I'm so full now. I don't want to talk about food.
I love the food on the tour. It was amazing. If you're vegetarian, you can be limited to options, but if you eat anything or even if you eat fish, you have a lot of options. I actually really like the vegetarian options. They had very good choice of vegetables, like
And
diverse. Like one day it was like mushrooms with aubergines, and the next day was, I can't even remember, or I can't even name the vegetable
Yeah.
because it was so like cool and exotic. So I love the food. I don't have any complaints with the food, and there was always food: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack in between. So yeah, I don't have any complaints.
Yes. Sometimes we had lunch. Usually the lunch would be in an island during the tour, and then we go back with a snack. I always sleep through breakfast, so I never got that one.
The breakfast was the worst part of the day. I would
It
say it was
was,
just
right?
rice, and if you didn't request for vegetarian meals, you would get a sausage, which I didn't touch. I fed it to dogs. Not disrespect to people who eat sausage, but it was like processed hot dog, and it was small and red and looked sugary, like caramelized.
Yeah.
People said it was sweet, so it wasn't for me, and I didn't fancy plain rice for breakfast, so I just had like a slice of papaya. That's
Yeah.
what we got.
And the slice was small. I think the breakfast.
Breakfast was
but I
full.
heard this complaint from everyone, but only breakfast, because lunch was literally, we would feast, eat 10,000 times
5
everyone,
plates if you
and
wanted.
never finished.
Yeah,
never
yeah.
finished. For
So it was
dinner
good.
the same. And they always give you like a small bottle of water as well with food,
Yeah.
which is good and refreshing.
Okay, so let's move on to another thing, which is places, islands that you visit, and beach locations, sandbars, snorkeling spots. I will start. I have criticism on that. And what criticism do I start with?
The criticism queen.
A complaining queen. Yeah. No, the point was, I think the tour, and I don't know if this is mandated by the government or by the tour, you have to be back at the camp for 4 p.m. And the islands are kind of far from the camp, so sometimes it takes like an hour and a half or 2 hours to reach the campsite. So you are literally sightseeing from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Yeah. So you literally have half an hour, 40 minutes maximum on an island, with the exception of Onok Island, where you will spend 3 hours.
Yes,
Was
but
3
then
hours,
even
yeah.
on Onok, after we go to another spot and we don't have time enough there.
No, like 20 minutes.
I agree with you on this. I don't think the time is managed well. I don't know if it was our tour or if it's always like that.
Yeah, it was very rushed. Like we would get to the first island, it was like, you've got 30 minutes. And then we would be on the boat, and then it's like, you've got 30 minutes. And then we would ask our guide, like, is the next island better than this one? Because we don't mind staying here and not see another island, you know, because we didn't go there for pictures or filming, even though we love it. But we wanted to swim, didn't we?
Yes, we wanted to be
mermaids.
mermaids. I was literally gonna say this. I was ready to be Moaninha. It was my first time seeing Filipino beaches, and I was like,
Yeah.
so in awe. And I
Yeah.
did try to hide many times. So
We
I
were
was-
hiding behind the boat. We did.
We didn't. People were with us,
Not just us.
not just us.
So we were lucky with our group. We were really, everyone was friendly, everyone was talkative, everyone bonded, which was amazing. And we were like, oh, we don't want to go to the next island, let's hide behind the boat. And we would be hiding for like 10 extra minutes to spend on an island. But yeah, that's my complaint, but not the only one.
But this complaint, I agree with this complaint. I don't like the tent.
What do you mean? You will like me with all my complaints?
We like.
You will. Because
let's make
second complaint is, it is not pristine. Okay? And what do I mean by the word pristine? Do I mean cleanliness? Like there is no waste, no rubbish? Or do I mean that it's touched by humans, right? So those are like 2 points, very valid ones, right?
Yes.
So the first one, plastic pollution, and you can expand on that.
Okay, we were expecting to go on a tour to a remote place. So what we think when we think about a remote place is literally Paradise Island, clean, untouched, pristine, everything we can have. That's not what we saw. We saw a lot of plastic. We saw many fisher nets. We saw things from China, literally like whole containers and milk box from China on the shore. And okay, maybe it's the tides, but someone has to clean it.
Especially Onok, I think, well, the campsite where we were staying was clean, but if you walked like 5 meters away from it, it was absolutely disastrous. So much plastic.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but Onok, which I found out after that the entry fee per person is 1,500 pesos. But Onok Island was dirty, absolutely dirty. There was fishing nets that you couldn't even pick up from the thing.
Yes.
There was boxes, plastic bottles, caps, Q-tips, you name it, it was there. I was really shocked and surprised because Onok Island is advertised as the best or the highlight of the tour. For me, it wasn't the highlight, was it?
No, I don't think so.
And not just because it was like polluted with plastic, but because it was developed, it was touched by humans. There were people living on the island, but it was the most developed island out of all. There were so many tourists. By the point where it was like
build up tents and houses for tourists, like bungalows.
Yeah, 2 piers, you had this concrete wall, and then you had, but when we had the lunch and we finished lunch, do you remember when we went on the beach?
Yes.
There was at least 100 tourists and at least 15, 10, 5 boats.
Yeah.
It was like Thailand or Boracay or it was not like Castaway Island.
Yes, which is fair, but then you cannot advertise as something that it is not true.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
the
yeah.
tour is not cheap, and then obviously you're paying to access these places that we cannot go, and also have a different experience.
Yeah.
And it's kind of disappointing.
Because sorry to interrupt, but the advertising was and said that you are going to Castaway Island. They are remote, they are far away. You travel there for 9 hours in a van or 7, but they are touched by humans. You are never like truly alone. Yeah.
And they have Wi-Fi.
They had Wi-Fi.
Internet signal in the middle of the sea.
Yeah, you expand, because I was
Oh my
texting on my
God.
WhatsApp.
So I chose to completely disconnect. When you go to the camping sites, they offer you the option. You can pay for 3 days of internet. That's the amount of time you're gonna spend there. Only 100 pesos.
Cheap.
Super cheap, and it's fine. But because I was like, I'm gonna enjoy this time to totally disconnect. So I didn't use my phone and I didn't have data. But Thomas is like in the middle of the sea, like using phone and texting everyone.
I didn't pay for Wi-Fi. I was just using my data.
Yeah.
This is smart, so I've got smart SIM, and like literally 3 minutes away when the boat left the camp, I'd get a signal. I was like texting everyone, from my mom to my friends to Instagram stories. Amazing.
Which is good.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
So our next point is, this is really upsetting, because why wouldn't they not check the tides and the times of the sea and the moon and whatever there is to be checked? Because we didn't get to see the beautiful sandbar that's kind of like, at least for me, literally, my mom sent me pictures from Brazil when I said I was going to Balabac. My mom sent me pictures with the sandbar. And of course it's the main attraction and what everyone wanted to see. And everyone in our group was also super excited to see.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Maybe plan ahead and check the tides, because you will do the sandbar on the 3rd day in the afternoon, around 1 p.m, 2 p.m. For our sandbar, it was high tide, so there was no sandbar, and we stayed there for 20 minutes. Honestly, 20 minutes, and that was it.
He said we could stay 1 hour, and 20 minutes after he rushed us to the boat, remember?
Yeah.
Like
literally.
again with the timing management, we did.
Yeah.
Annoying.
So I don't know like how far ahead or in future they can predict tides, but if they don't predict it because they offer date ranges on the website, maybe you should, if you are very concerned about having good pictures. Like we didn't have good weather for 2 days out of 3, but this is, no one can predict, so you just have to go with the flow, with the clouds, with the storms. But the tides you can predict. I don't know how far in advance, as I said, but you can check it if that's like a big thing for you.
So I would highly recommend to do that.
Yeah.
Or to go knowing that it's something that can happen. Are you gonna see the sandbar or you're not gonna see? Not to get disappointed was really frustrating.
Yeah.
Really.
I also think that because we went like on a group tour, we couldn't really tell where to go for how long. But maybe if you pay extra to go privately, maybe you could control the guides and the tour.
Yes.
That's what I got impression from the private tour that was there.
Yeah. And the price difference for what I've seen is not super high.
No?
Like if you have a big group as we did, obviously if you meet people in a hostel and you plan to go together, it's you can go as a private group and you can make your own schedule.
Lastly, we're gonna talk about just some suggestions or like advice and tips. My biggest one would be to not bring lots of clothes because you are on the beach all the time, like sandy, sticky. Just bring few, like 2 pairs of shorts, honestly, like 2 tops, that's it.
Do you remember how many things I have?
Me too. And yeah.
One dress for the night, one dress for the day, one beach sarong, one blah blah blah. I literally was wearing the same bikini because I didn't want a different tail lines.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on you, like if you want like photo shoots or whatever, but I don't advise bringing lots of clothes. And second one, which is very important, Balabac is remote, even though there are people and it's becoming more and more touristy. There are lots of sandflies and biting things, from mosquitoes to I don't know what.
Nature!
They're gonna be on you, the insects, honestly. Bring repellents, honestly, like we were just like shh.
Repellent and coconut oil. We are
Yeah.
literally making this like huge mix and still got beaten.
Yeah.
Still got really, really itchy.
And if you're like susceptible to like itchiness like I am, just bring antihistamine cream or even antihistamines to help you sleep at night, you know, because it is itchy. Like some of our, like I was kind of lucky you got itchy, but there were people on that tour, oh my God, their bags were like, they look like red Dalmatians.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. So yeah. And I don't know like what kind of advice I would give.
Bring cash.
Bring cash for
Bring
beer.
bring cash, lots of cash for beer and to tip your guide if you like him.
Yeah, and another thing I want to add, bring snacks.
No.
Because the shop
Yes.
in the camp didn't have many snacks. Like I wasn't even picky at that point because I just wanted chocolate.
Anything.
But I looked there and there was like detergent, instant coffee and just random things and lots of alcohol and drinks. But we wanted cookies, we wanted biscuits, chocolate. And luckily I brought avocados and I brought mandarins and I think that's it really. But we had a guy who brought cookies and we were like all over them like flies. So bring snacks, honestly. Do it. You
bring snacks.
And then conclusion, like, would you recommend the tour to your friends and family?
Maybe not our tour, but definitely to go to Balabac, yes, 100%. Yes, go to Balabac, for sure.
I wouldn't actually. Like, I love there. Yeah, it's shocking, but it's too far. The travel is too far. You spend a lot of on boat, and from my own experience, I've seen nicer places in the Philippines than Balabac.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Controversial. We didn't have this conversation before. I'm shocked now. Like, I'm like,
No,
oh.
the reason being, I didn't find it like Castaway, Robinson Crusoe style. Like, I thought it would be wild. Bring me sandflies, but I thought it would be wild. We went to some points on the beach and there's like, I love this island, flags, photo shoot props, you know, like wooden shed and yeah. And I think a lot of trees were cut down so you could just put your sarongs and stuff. So it didn't feel like I was somewhere like, I don't know, like far away, like Tom Hanks movie. What's that movie called?
Castaway?
Castaway, yeah, that's one.
Un náufrago.
So, yeah, in Portuguese. So I thought we would get that experience. We didn't. Like I said, Onok Island was as touristy as El Nido or Boracay, you know? I wouldn't because of travel time, but if you could fly there, yeah.
Travel time is, yeah.
Or if you could stay there, not camping, but stay there
1 week?
Not, I mean like in a hostel or like if it was more developed, then yeah. And this sounds really controversial because obviously we don't want it to get developed, but I was under that impression that it would be Castaway experience and it wasn't. So just give me a hostel. Just give me roads, laundry, swimming pool, no sandflies.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Yeah. I think so because it's like it's not developed, but it's like rustic. But yeah, if it's rustic, like I'll take him on model. Sorry.
I love this. I didn't know you wouldn't know.
No, like yeah. So yeah, thank you so
okay,
much for watching this. This is an honest review. I try not to be negative. Well, we didn't try. I hope it is a negative. Like, go for it. Do research. Do your pictures. But be aware, Instagram pictures, TikTok videos are heavily edited. And it doesn't look the same. And you will see in our videos, whether it's short or long videos, because it's not filtered. It's not edited. You will see the real Balabac.
Yes. And if you like this video, what do you have to do if you didn't do this yet? Hit the subscribe button. Can we go? Because mosquitoes are biting me as always.
Bye.
Okay? Bye.